I promised a deep dive yesterday through the brand new 2026 Jeep Cherokee. So guys, let's get to it. All right, guys, so the 2026 Jeep Cherokee. One of my favorite things about this is the body style, right? It pays a lot of respect and tribute to the Jeep Cherokees of the past, not like the last body style was, or it was a lot more curved. It's more back to that classic Jeep look, which I absolutely love. Now, this one's a limited trim level. We're going to get into the inside here in a minute, kind of go over what that means and what that does for it. And it does come with that new engine. It's a 4-cylinder, 1.6 liter turbo, as well as hybrid. That's pretty exciting. We're going to do a test drive here in a little bit, and I'll kind of get on it and see what that thing's like. But let's go into the inside first. As always, let's go to the trunk, right? We want to see how many bodies we can fit in this thing. So automatic liftgate on this one. And I mean, you got some phenomenal trunk space here. You can tell it just came in. We still got the plastics on the seats. I grabbed this the moment the techs were done, told detail not to touch it until I did this video. On the inside, you got a lot of fantastic trunk space. You also got your nice tie down, so you can keep anything back here. You also have your hold to set button, which is really nice. Like if you were opening the trunk in the garage, but you can't go all the way up, you can use that button to stop it halfway through its lift and set it wherever it's at, so that way it's not running into anything at the top. It's a pretty cool little option. Going on to the inside, though, the back seat. First off, space. That was one of the biggest things from the old Cherokees they wanted to fix. They wanted to give a lot more leg room to the passengers. A lot of people have a lot more comfort on the inside. So it's definitely poised and ready to do that. The seats here are a very, very premium leather. Feel amazing. You do have your back seat convenience features as far as plugging into your USB-A's or USB-C's go. But then the part everyone wants to know about, right? The driver's seat. Where you're at up here, what it has to it. So first off, one of my favorite things on the door handles. Instead of you having a traditional like pull handle, just a little button right here that you clip. And on the inside, instead of having your pull handle, just a little button there that you click. It's pretty awesome. But then once we get on the inside here, so you got your headlight settings, of course, the ability to open your fuel tank, all that kind of good stuff, as well as your parking brake. On the steering wheel, adaptive cruise control, as well as your DID menu and the ability to go through that. Let's start her up real quick here. Oh man, that's quiet. I love it. Let's go ahead, turn our Sirius XM down so it's not tuning me out here. And you know, traditional Uconnect menu, right? So a whole lot of similarities on this is what you've seen before, definitely. Nothing too crazy as far as the update there. You do have your heated seats, heated steering wheel option on board right there. And then of course you can find them through the comfort menu as well. AC controls down at the bottom. And then you do have your safety settings as far as lane departure goes, your traction control, low gear options, and then park sense. All nice, technologically safe and safety features. And then you do have your sand, mud, snow, auto, sport mode. The sport mode is supposed to be configured to make it go pretty quickly with that hybrid motor. Like I said, I'm going to check that out here in a little bit. And then right down here, that's QI charging built in. So you can slide your phone in there and let it charge up for you. Tons of space up here. That's one thing I really like. And I also really like this redesigned dash. The way that they did this, it looks really, really, really sophisticated, sleek, not a whole bunch of bulky or bulbous, you know, unneeded parts to it. Center console looks good. You do still have, of course, your ability to open your trunk from right here. Your Uconnect voice speakers, being able to talk on the phone while you're in the vehicle, as well as the active noise cancellation, trying to drown out a little bit of the engine noise, the road noise that comes into the vehicles when we're driving them. All in all, guys, this thing's pretty phenomenal. We're going to get to the test drive part right now. All right, for the beginning of the test drive here, we're going to do it in auto, and then on the way back to the dealership, I'm going to switch over to sport, just so we can kind of see the difference and feel a little bit of what the timing difference is between the sport mode and the auto mode, and kind of the differences that they let us have while we're driving down the open road. So first thing I do notice, right, it's extremely quiet. When you're driving it down the road, you really don't hear much road noise whatsoever inside. And again, the active noise cancellation that the Jeeps have inside of them is pretty amazing. It lets out a little high-pitched sound that you really can't hear, but what it does is it blocks out road noise, engine noise, things like that from the outside of the vehicle. So it's pretty cool little technology they have inside the cabinet of Jeeps. You also find it inside of Rams, other Chrysler products. So on the get up and go side of things, it's actually very peppy. which, those little 1.6 liters, you always want to check and see, is it going to be peppy? Is it sluggish? The turbo on it really does a nice job picking it up. It's a seamless transition. You don't even notice the gears shifting on the inside. I was talking to a tech about it the other day. He said that the timing piece was done all in one piece rather than being done in separate parts. And so that's what allows for it to be so seamless and feel so smooth when you're driving down the road. Great fuel economy too. So like right now I'm cruising at 45. We just got going, so the average is still building nicely. But where I'm seeing the instantaneous readout, we're getting over 30 miles per gallon on the instantaneous readout while we're just holding our line at 45 here going down the road. Between 30 and 40 is kind of where it's hovering at. Good pickup right up to the speed limit. That's awesome. And like I said, when we go back here in a second, we're going to go ahead and flip around and try it on the sport mode when we go back and just kind of see what kind of acceleration we can get, what kind of get up and go it gives. From a red light, 0 to 65, extremely good acceleration, blows the doors off other cars, no problem. And that's on the auto. Great fuel economy the entire time doing that as well. And then the hybrid motor is in a nice power regen cycle as well, going through the regenerative braking. So everything's doing really well on the acceleration point of things on the auto. Really, really smooth, honestly. Which on these mid-size SUVs, sometimes you can feel every bump because you just don't have that wide of a wheelbase. But even with that shorter wheelbase in this thing, you're not really feeling all the road divots, all the bumps, all the little sticks that they can throw at you sometimes. Now we're going to go ahead and get turned around here. When we do, I'm going to flip it over into the sport mode. All right, so in sport mode, really, it doesn't feel like it has more power. It actually feels like less. It's kind of weird. So it accelerates very smoothly in sport mode. I noticed that it did do a good job of holding back the gear, and that's all part of the timing difference that it does. So it did a good job holding you in third and letting you get up that RPMs kind of rolling a little bit and getting, your acceleration, your speed going a little bit better. But I did not notice the instant pickup that I did on the auto. And so I don't know if it's the sport mode in this is just more geared towards keeping the acceleration smooth, rather than making it more rapid, because it really didn't feel like it was a whole lot more power added on the sports side of things. Again, very good acceleration, very, very good timing. Felt really nice going into it. It just didn't feel like it was giving me that extra boost, that extra pep that usually a sport mode gives you. I really enjoy that, without having to go up into the $50,000, $60,000 range, you can still get your heated seats, heated steering wheel, blind spot monitoring, collision avoidance, your lane avoidance or lane management systems, all of those kinds of nice safety features. As a parent, it's really cool to see those being integrated more and more into these packages where you're not spending 60 G's in order to get them. Out of a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say the redesign on the Cherokee. As far as aesthetics go, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 right there. I absolutely love what they did. I love that they paid it back to the original Cherokees, that they really did a good job of incorporating that Jeep look that we know and love, that we want to see inside of our Jeep vehicles. As far as drive quality goes, I definitely give the quality of the drive and of the ride an 8 out of 10. One of the more comfortable mid-size SUVs that I've driven in lately. Feels really, really nice, really, really good. I like that engine. It feels nice. Does a really good job on the acceleration side of things. Didn't give me a whole lot of grunt, grit, or stick. When it comes to the acceleration factor, I have a lead foot. I'm going to admit it. I like to accelerate pretty quickly. So on that side of things, I am going to give it a 7 out of 10. I didn't feel like I was accelerating the quickest ever. You can definitely pass somebody, no problem inside of it. You're not gutless or anything like that, but it just didn't have that incipient response, that feel that I love to feel from my hybrid vehicles typically. So overall, all in all, just overall vehicle rating, I would definitely give this thing a solid 7.5 out of 10. Definitely worth coming and looking at, checking out. If you like the looks of it in this video, you enjoy the test drive, and you want to feel what it's like yourself, stop by J. Hatfield Chrysler. Let us know that you're here to see the brand new Jeep Cherokee, and we'll make sure to pull this thing up so you can take it for a test drive. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.